DSB Creative, NFL Week 9. Oh yeah, it's the halfway point. It's time to get serious or get gone. Let's get into it. What's going on, world, football family? JarynDSB back on the DSB Creative for NFL Week 9. And we are at the halfway point of the season. Kind of brings a tear to my eye. We're 9 weeks closer to no football, but we gonna get into this. First note, I went through some of the channel analytics. A lot of you guys, the grand majority of you guys who watch any of these videos or shorts are not subscribed to the DSB Creative. So do me this favor. Just hit that subscribe button. I love you. Hit that subscribe button for me. I love you again. Because this is for the love of football. This is what we do over here at the DSB Creative. We talk football. And I think now would be also a good time to announce. During springtime, we're going to transition over to XFL. I've followed the XFL last year. I really liked what I saw. So this year, we're going to continue that. And we're going to bring it on to YouTube, try to make some content with it. And like I said, I got the flag football for y'all coming too. So just stay tuned over at the DSB Creative. Here, we got some stuff coming for y'all. So stay tuned. Hit that subscribe button because we getting into the NFL matchups right now. And the first one I'm getting into, Miami, KC. Why is this matchup important? Both these teams sit at 6-2. I guess you could say this is the battle of the AFC heavyweights or light heavyweights. Both these teams, in their 2 losses, have been extremely shocking in their 2 losses. It was uncharacteristic. Miami, after the 70 points against Denver, it was up and down for that defense and offense. They started off hot with the 3-game win streak. Then they lost to the Bills 48-20. And then beat the Giants, blew them out. Beat the Panthers, blew them out. Then lost to the Eagles. It was neck and neck. And then after halftime, it was over. And then most recently, Miami just beat the Patriots. They did to the Patriots what the Eagles did to them. And then you go over here to the Chiefs. Like I said, also 6-2. First week, lost by 1 point to the Detroit Lions, who are a formidable team. Got on the right track this week against the Raiders, as they should have. So Chiefs lost the first week to the Lions. Next, beat the Jags, blew out the Bears, beat the Jets, barely. Vikings, beat them by 7 points, beat the Broncos by, 11 points, and then beat the Chargers handily, 31-17. And most recently, come off a 24-9 loss to the Broncos. The Chiefs do. So both these teams got some proven to do. Who's the real heavyweight of the AFC? Who's the real favorite to represent the AFC coming out of the playoffs and going into the Super Bowl? Track record would have us pick Mahomes. Although down in Miami, Tua's looking good, Tyreek's looking good, Mostert's looking good. If they can get Achane back, they got, I think his last name's Ahmed back there, and they got a nice receiving core outside of Tyreek and Waddle. This is going to be a good game. It's I'm trying to get the picks right over here. It's kind of a toss-up, if you ask me. I have to defer to the defenses. Chiefs' offense has been up and down. With the exception of the win against the Bears, the Chiefs don't have too many other high-scoring outings. They did drop 31 on the Chargers. So did the Dolphins in Week 1, 36-34. And I guess the story there is the defense of the Dolphins also got 34 points hung on them. So it brings us back to the question. And it's definitely a toss-up. If I had to pick one team coming out of this game, I don't think it's going to be a blowout. This shit going to be close. I'm rocking with the Chiefs. That 3-headed monster on offense they have of Mahomes, Kelsey, and Pacheco have shown that when they click, they can do great things. The parts of that offense that aren't used to being utilized as much as they are just need to step up. Receivers got the ball hitting you in your hands. This is the story of the Chiefs this year. The ball's hitting you in your hands and you're just not making the play. Can't rely on Mahomes' legs all the time. Can't rely on Kelsey all the time. Can't rely on Pacheco all the time. You supporting cast guys are going to have to step up and make some plays. But with that being said, I'm not going to bet against Mahomes. In big moments, he shows up. He is him. He is today what Tom Brady was in the 2000s. So if you had to ask me, I got the Chiefs winning this game 26-24 over Miami. Like I said, not a blowout, not necessarily a high-scoring game, but it's going to be a good game to watch. The defenses are going to have to come to play. And it's the 9:30 start in Germany. Maybe that might have a factor. Maybe it won't. Whichever team can strike first, score, and can get their defense rolling is going to be the team to win. And I think that's going to be the Chiefs. 26-24, KC over the Miami Dolphins. Battle of the AFC light heavyweights. On to the next game. In the next game, we're talking about the divisional matchup. America's game of the week, the 7-1 Philadelphia Eagles against the 5-2 Dallas Cowboys. Over the past couple games, the Eagles have had some trouble getting out of the gate. That offense has been kind of slow. Jalen Hurts been turning the ball over. That loss to the Jets 3 weeks ago was shocking. Came back and beat Miami, the Eagles did. And then after a battle with the Commanders, they pulled away, won by a touchdown and a field goal. Now you look at over here at the Cowboys, both these teams are 3-1 in their last 4 games. But the Cowboys sit at 5-2, the Eagles sit at 7-1. And more recently, the Cowboys handled the Rams this past Sunday, 43-20. And before that, in a battle with the Chargers, they pulled it out. The defense got a stop and they needed to. 2017, the Cowboys over the Chargers. Before that, 3 weeks ago, got blown out by the 49ers. So 3 weeks ago, both these teams had probably their worst showing of the year. And here they are now with their first divisional matchup of the year. I think the Eagles are winning the NFC East, point blank period. This team has been too good thus far, and what they showed us last year, I would think they'd have to come out the NFC East. The Commanders are no competition. The Giants are no competition. The Cowboys could be competition, but I'm still not sold on that offense. Don't get me wrong. You beat the Rams. However, that Rams defense is middle of the pack at best. They give up 333 yards a game. And so far this season, they've given up almost 1,800 passing yards. So Dak got in there, and Dak got him some of that. He got him some of that good loving, some of that good cooking. And he went out there and served them, as Shannon Sharp would say, a good hot L to them Los Angeles Rams. Can he do the same thing against the Eagles? I'm going to sit here and tell you, I don't believe it, because that Eagles defense is still top tier, and the Cowboys offense is still trying to get in gear. I don't foresee this offense having this big coming out party, at least not yet, not against this team. I could be wrong, though. The Eagles have struggled over the past couple games, like I said, stopping teams from scoring themselves. Jalen Hurts turning the ball over. He has 8 interceptions this year through 8 weeks. I think last year, he finished the season with around 7 or 8. So that's definitely alarming. Taking a lot more chances in the air and them not turning out. Where you look at Dak, he's only got 5 interceptions on the year. He said he wanted to take care of the ball a little more. Granted, in that 49ers game, Dak had 3 of those 5 interceptions he got now. So that's a way to look at it too. And also on the flip side, Jalen against the Jets had 3 interceptions, 3 of his 8. Without that game, he'd be neck and neck with Dak for interception. So both these quarterbacks have still left a lot to be desired on the football field for both their teams. And I don't think any question is certifiably answered yet as far as which of the two might be the better team. But as their schedules have worked for them right now and how they've played their schedules right now, the Eagles do look like the better team. We'll see in this matchup. And with that analysis, the Eagles looking like the better team, that goes into my prediction. I got the Eagles winning this thing 23-20 over the Cowboys. Divisional matchup. I'm not going for a crazy high-scoring game. It's going to be a hard-fought game. A couple touchdowns, going to finish the drive with a few field goals. The kickers are going to have to get in there and get their feet dirty too. 23-20, Eagles over the Cowboys. What we did to the Cowboys, what we did to the Rams this past Sunday was a beautiful thing to see, a 23-point victory. But I don't think long-term we've found the answer quite yet. I think we just took advantage of a bad team. But we'll see what happens Sunday. 23-20, Philly over the Cowboys. But if there's any reason why the Cowboys do win this game, I'm sticking with 23-20. But if the Cowboys do win this game, that defense is going to have to play lights out. I'm talking Jalen got to turn that ball over about twice. Swift, Gainwell, whoever they want running that rock, punch that fucking ball out. A.J. Brown, them little pretty one-hand catches, I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn about an unnecessary roughness penalty. If that mofo try to come across the end zone, the middle, down the sideline, profiling pretty with that little one hand, somebody got to come across laying that wood. And then it comes down to the defensive line. These my three guys right here. When these three on the field, I grin big when these three are on the field right here. Parsons, Diggy Zua, DeMarcus Lawrence. Those are the three right there. Those are the big three on our defensive line. If those three can dominate at the point of attack, and everybody else can just for one Sunday come to play. Put your hard hat on. Be a man. Get down in them trenches. Put a hat on the hat and move them motherfuckers back. And if they try to come with that tush push bullshit, we need everybody on that defensive line. And I'm talking about don't even engage with them linemen when that shit say hut. When that shit say hut, go straight for Jason. I ain't even going to say it. But y'all know what to do. Rex Ryan gave y'all the blueprint. Hands flat. Go cut them linemen out. Soon as they try to move that line of scrimmage forward. You got to reestablish that line of scrimmage from the first snap of the game to the last snap of the game if you want to beat the Eagles. I ain't even talking to that, Mike McCarthy. If you want to beat the Eagles, the line of scrimmage has to be reset by your defense every single time they take that field. If you let the Eagles get in the groove, you saw what happened to Miami. They pulled away real quick. Miami saw taillights after the second half. Don't fall into that boat. There's a blueprint in what the Jets did to the Eagles. The Cowboys can follow a similar formula because they have a similar roster. Defense, offense, quarterback play leaving a lot to be desired. That's the Cowboys fan in me speaking out. But the football analyst in me, the person who does the eye test every Sunday in me, is saying the Eagles will win this game 23-20 and take that 1-0 tiebreaker forward into the season until we meet again. Next game. This is a must-win for both teams. Both these teams need this win. Sunday night, Bengals, Bills. 4-3 Bengals, 5-3 Bills. These two teams, in my mind at least, have had the exact same season thus far. Came in with so many expectations for both these teams, and they have been extremely underwhelming. The Bengals started the year with 2 straight losses, Browns and Ravens. Granted, I guess we can give them those losses. Those are both divisional teams, divisional rivals, those games are never easy, okay? They right the ship the next week and beat the Rams 19-16. And then go to Tennessee and get whooped by the Titans, 24 points. 27-23 was the final score. And then they handled the Cardinals, Seahawks, and whooped the 49ers, the Bengals did. And now the Bills. The Bengals are coming in hot, coming off 4 games. And Buffalo's it's not looking good for Buffalo. I'm a big Josh Allen fan. Love Buffalo. I think they have a lot as a roster. It's a lot. It's going to be a lot to beat them. It's going to be a lot to knock them out. You're going to have to come to play your A game to knock them out. Sean McDermott, he, as a coach, I got nothing bad to say. Defense, offense, tough, that he allows the players to be themselves. I love Sean McDermott as a coach. I love him in Buffalo. I love him coaching Josh Allen. Let's talk about the Bills. They started off with a loss to the Jets, divisional game. I won't hold that above your head. They came out the next week and beat the Raiders 38-10. Whooped the Commanders the next week 37-3. Whooped the Dolphins the next week 48-20. And then the next week they lost to who might be the best team in the AFC, Jaguars, 25-20. You blow out the 3 teams before the weeks before, and then you lose to the Jaguars like that. And then the Giants, they beat the Giants 14-9. A 5-point win over the lowly, just terrible Giants. And then they lost to the Patriots 29-25. That was the week Mac played out of his mind. That team, that 1 week in practice, I guess, everything clicked. And they had a good week of walkthroughs and all that. And now here we are. And they play the Bills, and they beat the Bills, the Patriots did. 29-25. Next week, the Buccaneers come to town. The Bills handle them, 24-28. So the Bills are 2-2 in their last 4. Bengals are 3-1. What are we looking for in a matchup like this? What can we hope to see? Burrow's finally coming into fashion. He started off, you remember, came off that injury in the offseason, started the year kind of slow. Now they're coming into form. Jamar Chase, he's 7-11, and he really 7-11 now. Every week it seems like he's hauling in a TD. And then on the flip side, Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, Gabe Davis, Dalton Kincaid, the rookie tight end that they got. Man, Buffalo, that's not an example of the rich getting richer. They already got Knox over there. I think he's hurt. I think he's out right now. They already got Dawson Knox, but he's on IR. When he comes back healthy, Dawson Knox, they're going to have him and Kincaid. Then they're going to have Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis. And then you got James Cook. And then you got Latavius Murray. You got Damian Harris back there at running back. The Bills got a fucking squad in that defense. They lost Milano, but they get Von Miller back. You would hope you would be able to have both of them at the same time, but football gods wouldn't allow it. All right, so we're going to go forward with it. And they lost Tre'Davious White. After Tre'Davious White goes down, they bring in Josh Norman, bring him up from the practice squad. And they recently, traded for Rasul Douglas from the Packers. So they're trying to do something on that defense, trying to get some pieces in place to maybe soak up some of that damage that might happen from having Milano gone and having Von Miller miss some of those games and then not having Tre'Davious White. All these things for the Bills, trials and tribulations. And how do I feel? I feel like betting against Josh Allen and Sean McDermott might be a fool's errand. However, they have shown that there's some trouble in the AFC for them. Jets, Patriots, Jaguars. With the Bengals finding their stride and the Bills trying to find some semblance of an identity to go forward, with it now being week 9, I'm picking Buffalo to win this game. And I should say my score, my prediction, I'm going 28 Buffalo, 21 Cincy. I think both these teams are going to have good offensive showings. I do think the Bengals run into a wall, though, this week. I feel like not too many people know what to make of the Bills this year as they sit at 5-3. And they've been not necessarily a forethought in the AFC, only because, like I said, their season's been very underwhelming. Prior to the season, I thought they'd be in those final 4 teams in the AFC or in the NFL with the best record. Whereas Cincy, their problem was they just needed to find a groove, and they're in it. However, the Bills, they can put up points fast, and that defense can hit you in the mouth. 3 times they let games slip away. This early, I don't see them tacking on that 4th loss 9 weeks into the season. But the Bengals going 4-4, I think is more telling of their start to the season, though. That would be more telling of their start to the season. It was just a struggle getting out of the gate. They started off slow, but now they're catching fire. And I don't think them dropping a loss to the Bills would be a bad thing, because they're probably going to see each other in the playoffs again. So for this week, I got the Bills over the Bengals, 28-20. And we're moving on to the Monday night game. And let me tell you something about the 2023-24 NFL season. This season has made me such a fan of the New York Jets. I was not a fan of them when Aaron Rodgers went down. I've never been a Jets fan in my life. I grew up in New England. I'm a Cowboys fan. I hate the Giants. I dislike the Jets for just fucking sharing a stadium with them. And they're in fucking New York, New Jersey. Like, what the fuck? But, man, Zach Wilson been playing with some moxie. Kicking off the season, whooping the Bills. Not whooping, it was 22-16. But they got the dub. They snuck up on him. Aaron Rodgers went down. The Bills was like, oh, shit, what are we going to do? What's Zach going to do? Zach figured that shit out, didn't he? And then they went on that 3-game skid. 30-10 to the Cowboys, lost. 15-10 to the Patriots, lost. 23-20 to the Chiefs, lost. But they played the Chiefs exceptionally well. It was just down the stretch, 4 weeks into the season, Zach Wilson wasn't seasoned enough yet. He's got a better team around him in his 3rd year than he had in his 1st year, in his 2nd year. He's got the Jets sitting at 4-3. I don't think the Bills will lose, like I said, to the Bengals on Sunday. But if the Bills lose to the Bengals on Sunday, with the Jets owning the tiebreaker thus far against the Bills, the Jets can handle business against the Chargers on Monday night, led by Zach Wilson. I got goosebumps. I love that story. And I'm here for that story. This is where, the heart comes into play. The heart wants what the heart wants. And on the other side of this beautiful story, I got my Los Angeles Chargers. Brandon Staley, I'm not a fan of you. That's documented. That's on the internet. That's on YouTube. Can't say nothing else about that. But you got my dog Herbert over there, Jay Herbo. And the season's been pretty underwhelming thus far, Coach Staley. Y'all 3-4 with that sorry-ass defense. Offense leaving a lot to be desired. Mediocre, to say the least. Start off the season with a loss to the Dolphins and a loss to the Titans. Then you pick up 2 wins, Vikings, Raiders. And then 2 losses, Cowboys, Chiefs for the Chargers. We don't know what to make of the Chargers this year. I don't even think they could tell us. And the Jets, we know just what they are. That defense gonna come hit you in the mouth. That quarterback can manage the game. If you don't put pressure on him, you will be beat by Zach Wilson. These players in the NFL got a lot of pride, these defenses, right? Imagine having to stick that in your cap and wear it. We couldn't bring pressure against the New York Jets, so Zach Wilson beat us. Flung it all over the yard. He almost got the Chiefs. He almost got Patty Mahomes. If you ask me, in that game against the Chiefs, Zach Wilson and Patrick Mahomes, they were going right there, and then Patrick pulled away because at the end of the game, he did what he needed to do to win. And Zach, I think, is finding that out now in his 3rd year as he's progressing through this season with the best roster they've ever assembled on that offense. I think he's figuring out now the throws he can and can't make to help them win. The windows that he can and can't fit that ball into. Where he should drive that ball, where he should drop it in over to the receiver. He's starting to figure that out. And that defense every week is gaining more and more momentum. The Jets are on a 3-game win streak right now. The Chargers just beat the Bears. And just like everyone else who played the Bears, with the exception of the Raiders and the Commanders, they whooped on the Bears. So that's commonplace in the NFL. So I'm not I'll put it to you like this. The Jets played the Chiefs as close as they did. 20-23, right? The Chiefs won. The Chiefs whooped the Chargers 31-17. In that formula, the Jets know how to beat the Chargers. If the Chiefs whoop them like that, Zach Wilson gonna do some damage. I don't know what else I can say. Garrett Wilson coming into his own. Randall Cobb, Alan Lazard, Conklin, the tight end. I love my boy. I love the tight ends. He's in the middle, safety blanket for the young quarterbacks. That's why I love the tight ends. They need to get him another good one. Ozama's a good tight end, but just a little bit more consistency. In getting open. Like, overall, I think that's the one thing also the Jets offense could use. From running backs to the receivers to the tight ends. Your one-on-one matchups against the linebacker, the DB, whoever. Your one-on-one matchups, win those. Belichick said this a few years ago when the Patriots won their last Super Bowl. Do your job. If you can win your job at the point of attack, if you can win your matchup at the point of attack, you make your job 10 times easier for the quarterback. Ocho Cinco said this a few weeks ago about the Jets. They got to go out there and win for him. And that's what he meant. Win your battle at the point of attack. Do your job at the point of attack. Win from Hut. Hut, 1-2, you should have already won your battle. And you should be ready. Zach Wilson should be ready for whatever. Fling it, dish it, shovel it, whatever. Screen, what's happening? Zach got it under cover. Win at the point of attack. And I think this week against a team like the Chargers, who are still, after 7 weeks played in a bye, still have not found an identity. How long has Brandon Staley been over there? And we've got no results. They gave him a fine young roster to work with. That offense has done nothing. They've won nothing. And that defense is starting to regress. The Los Angeles Chargers, I've said this last year and I will say this year. Brandon Staley is not your answer. You're wasting a lot of years with a lot of the good young talent you have over there in that nice-ass stadium with this mediocre coach. He might be good enough to get you to 11-5 or 11-6, 12-5, but he's not the answer. Everyone wants a guru. Everyone wants to get the young coach with the good mind who's going to be good with the young players and be nice and trendy and set a new mold. Maybe that's not for everybody. Everybody ain't Sean McVay. Everybody's not Kyle Shanahan. And Brandon Staley, you definitely are not. So I hope after this loss to the Jets, my prediction for this game is the Jets winning this game 2017. And if you look, 3 weeks ago, Chargers lost to the Cowboys, 2017. The week after that, they lost to the Raiders, 31-17. I got the Jets winning this game 21-17. The Chargers have so many questions, mainly what are they going to do with that head coach after this year? Your quarterback is good. That Justin Herbert is a fine young quarterback. Maybe top 10, top 15 what we got now. He's got the arm talent. That's what they say. Then he's got the receivers. That offense can do something. But like I said, that defense regressing the way it is, how that defense looks now, come on now. If this was a brother coaching the Chargers, with how they looking now, he would have got his ass up out of there. Already. He would have been gone. And I'll leave it at that. Jets going to do God's work this Sunday. 2017, Chargers going down to the Jets. Jets whooping that ass. And now let's go over the picks real quick. First, we started off Chiefs Dolphins. I got the Chiefs over the Dolphins, 26-24. Then we had Cowboys Eagles. I got Philly beating the Cowboys 23-20. But like I said, I want to put an asterisk next to that. If the Cowboys were to win, if the Cowboys do win, that defense is going to have to play lights out. I'm not, even after the Rams game, not fully sold on that Cowboys offense. You can play against a bad team like that. I mean, we're not expecting the Rams to do really anything this year. So they did what they were supposed to do. And then we got the battle of the Bills and the Bengals. Both these teams need to prove something going forward. It's the halfway point. Both these teams need to really cement themselves as, hey, we're here in the AFC. Because it's been a little bit. But in the Bills and Bengals, I got Buffalo, 28-21. I know the Bengals are in stride right now, but I'm not going to bet against Josh Allen and the ability that the Bills have to just throw 40 points up on the board on you. 30-40. And then lastly, Monday night game, super invested in both teams. We got the Jets and the Chargers. I got the Jets being the Chargers 2017. There's no identity in Los Angeles right now for the Chargers. Like I said, I'll say again, defense regressing. The offense is just doing what it's been doing since Staley got there. Justin Herbert doing his damn thing with Keenan Allen. Them two guys are so talented that even with a bad coach, they're going to get you some wins. They're going to get you about 8, 9 wins, 10 wins, max 11 wins. You ain't winning that division, though. Not with that head coach. You might be able to get the talent, have the talent on the offensive side, and you might be able to get the talent on the defensive side, but coaching is a mental game, and the Chargers ain't there. Jets over the Chargers, 2017. Let me know what y'all think of the picks. Like, comment, subscribe. If you're watching this, you probably one of the people that the analytics told me ain't subscribed, but we hanging out on my channel. Let me tell you something. I love you, and I need you to subscribe so we can keep talking football. And we gon' keep talking football because that's what we do over here on the DSB Creative. We talk football. JarynDSB. Thank y'all for coming in here with me. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm out.